Day 4 of Washington Commanders training camp is in the books, and right now I'm joined with my good friend, who I call my little sister, does an awesome job. And if you don't know who Candi Waller is, CEO of Seawall Sports, I'm telling you, you got to check her out. She does a wonderful job over at Bowie Television as well. Another day is in the books, and today wasn't, a whole lot didn't happen today, but there were some key things that we did take note of. We saw the young guy, Jaylin Lane, had a really nice day. Great back of the end zone catch from Jaden Daniels. How impressed with Jaylen are you?
I'm very impressed. I mean, I've been kind of waiting to see. I'm like, okay, I want to see Jaylen do something. I want to see him do something. I want to be impressed. I want to be wowed, and he did it. I said, I don't think he heard me, but he definitely got the memo.
I'm sure he did.
But he got the memo because he did that with double cover. He did it. He stayed in
bounds.
Right in bounds.
Yeah.
Caught the ball, held onto the ball. Mikey and Jaden had to get the bantering around, so he was out.
Yeah, Mikey always had to come in and tell him he was out.
Got you on that one,
He had both back feet in. He actually had a nice reception over the middle too.
He did.
That he would have taken to the house. So
Absolutely.
You see that speed that he has, and in fairness to the guys from last year, because they did get to the NFC Championship game, I think it's known that if you have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels and you have a speedster like Jaylen Lane, it's going to open up this offense even more.
Absolutely. It just opens up the playbook. I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury, we saw how excited special teams coordinators Larry Izzo was when they drafted Jaylen Lane, but I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury immediately went to his playbook like, oh yeah, I got plenty to work up for Jaylen.
And it can open up. I mean, and there's so much speed out here now. Like, Candi, you can see that this is a different looking team from last year. They're bigger, they're more athletic, and they're definitely faster. What are some of the things that jump off the charts for you when you watch this new group?
I'm thinking just the speed off of the line of scrimmage.
Gotcha.
Like they're rolling. They're moving fast, but that was one of the things we talked about, especially when we watched the Steelers Commanders game last year. Yep. We were talking about how fast the Steelers defense is coming off of the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
You can tell that this team is getting prepared for the Eagles, potentially seeing them 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And the rest of the division did get better through the draft and everything. So you can tell they're anticipating that speed and being able to win those one-on-one matchups.
Yeah, and one of the things that gets lost a little bit out here is like Laramie Tunsil, Josh Connolly Jr. You have to think about what Adam Peters has tried to do with this offensive line. For Jaden Daniels to be able to drop back and not have to make a decision in less than 2 seconds, now maybe it's 3 seconds, for him to be able to survey the field, for him to have more weapons to survey, you knew that this was done with the intention of, look, we got to keep that Eagles defense on their toes a little bit so they can't pin their ears back.
Look, we all saw what can happen when Jaden has time. Just go back to the Hail Mary. When he had time, when they're blocking and doing what needs to be done, you saw what happened. So if he has that kind of time all throughout a 60-minute game, they can run the scoreboard up on a few people.
And I think they know that. I think they look at it like this year, they're not sneaking up on anyone. They're going to outscore you, and they feel like their defense is going to batter you. There were a lot of plays made on defense. I know Friday the defense had the better of the offense. Today I think it was a little bit of mixture, but the thing that jumps off to me is that they're both battling. So if the offense has a great play, the hairs raise up on the defensive players to fix that. So there's none of this, we're going to have our way with you. It's an even setup there.
That's exactly right. We're not seeing where we'll have a better practice. It's like better series.
Better series, exactly. Series of plays. Now, folks, you know me, I try not to talk about it too much, but you have to. This is our job. This is what we do. Mr. Terry McLaurin was out here today, and he was out on the field after practice came out. Didn't say anything to us, speaking to, I guess, his agent or someone else, and was out on the field talking to that person for maybe like 5-6 minutes, and then he went over and talked to the fans. So I did get wind of, it's out there, one of our colleagues posted it, that Terry said that his beef isn't with the fans. He told the fans that.
There you go. Of course. My beef is not with y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Candi, I have a problem with that. And you know me, I don't keep my mouth shut about things I don't like. I have a big problem with Terry saying that, because that's saying like his beef is with the team. This is your team, and this team is all about goodwill. This team is all about keeping things in-house. Hell, Santana Moss today found out that he's being inducted into the Ring of Honor, this season. I think week 1 against the Giants. He didn't even know. Brian Mitchell told me they kept all that under wraps, so this team doesn't leak stuff. So for Terry to come here and again say something where I feel like it's putting his foot in his mouth. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I mean, this team, going back to, let me take a step back to when Terry spoke with the media at Eastern Motors and talked about not feeling valued.
Yeah.
That kind of struck me as different because, because Terry knows how much this team loves him. The organization, the staff, his teammates, he knows he's valued. He knows this. Of course, the fan base, all of you, so all of us in the media, like seriously. So it's kind of like, wow, what else is out there, right? Because to your point, like, of things don't get out, right? We'll never know, more than likely, Noah Brown's injury and what happened with Noah.
Noah's out here running routes looking great today.
Exactly.
No one knew.
Exactly. We didn't know about Ben Sinnott's shoulder and his shoulder surgery. We didn't know about Quan Martin's shoulder. He broke his own, his own news on that one.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to these types of things, it's like, okay, now you're sharing things out loud. You're telling the fans that you don't have beef with them. Your beef is not with them. So that means your beef is with the team, and so that's tough. That's hard.
It's not a good look.
Not a good look.
It's the type of look, Candi, that, and I'm not saying Terry is like this, but I am saying right now it's coming across as a little divish or diva-ish, if you can say that word, and they don't need that. They just don't. This is a Super Bowl caliber football team, and they're getting after it without Terry. They're getting after young guys making plays. We know that they need Terry if they're trying to get to that next step. No one's denying that. They need 17 on the field if they're trying to get to the Super Bowl. But they need him to be in a position of, you talk about loyalty coming back to you, where you have to show it as well. And I can say this, and I'm sure you don't have to say it or verify it, but I think the team put him on the pup list to save him from himself. I'm just saying that. I'm telling y'all that right now. So I just feel like the team is trying to help him help them, but you got to work together. And I just feel like to show up here and say that comment, that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up, he came out as Jaden was getting on the stage to talk to ESPN or NFL Network, not sure, one of the national networks is, back together. So he came out as Jaden was getting on the stage. And I mean, yes, he spent the better.
Literally when Jaden was getting on the stage,
like the same time. And he spent the better 20 minutes signing autographs for fans. To your point, like, he was here. And
made it known that he was here.
He made it known he was in the building. Did not come outside during practice to at least be out here with your teammates. My question and where my interest lies is, does it impact the brotherhood? Does it impact the culture?
Listen, I was never a professional athlete, but I played in college, and I can tell you right now, everything stays in-house. Where I went to school, we were told you couldn't pledge like a fraternity because the word was your brotherhood is in this locker room. It has to affect some people. It may not affect everyone. It may not affect a guy like Jaden Daniels because, people may say, well, surely it's going to affect him from his play on the field. No, it's not. Because Jaden is one of those guys that wants to get better each practice. He wants to be the best player there ever was. That's his mentality. So he's going to put the work in regardless. But what it can affect, in my opinion, is the young guys. It can affect the Jaylen Lane. It can affect the Luke McCaffrey. Because when you don't have one of your leaders on the field with a new talent in a Deebo Samuel, you can't get the proper mesh. Now, I understand that they were here for OTAs. OTAs is a little different from when you have to put pads on. So Terry needs to be out here, and I think the fan base understands that. I think Adam Peters and company understand that. But I just don't want him talking anymore. I just if you're here, you're here. Just don't say anything, because sometimes microphones put bad things on you.
Yep. Like, just be quiet.
Just be quiet. That's all you got to do.
Use your inside voice, meaning keep it inside.
Absolutely. So, folks, Candi Waller, CEO of Seawall Sports, also the president of Bowie Television. I mean, if you didn't know about Bowie Television over the last 2 years, you damn sure know about Bowie Television, because she's out here doing her thing. Really proud of you and everything that you've been doing, Candi. Like I you know, everybody say, man, your little sister's doing it, man. So yeah, yes she is. So make sure you check her out.
Thank you so much, Lake. I mean, you know, from the door, the moment I stepped in training camp in Richmond, well, training camp was in Richmond, you showed me love from day one, instantly. You said you could just tell by my work ethic. I was hustling. I wasn't really trying to talk to anybody. I'd smile, but I was really just trying to work. And you and Donna, we talked about Rich Chandler earlier today. We were just chatting. You all were the three that really just made me feel at home.
Well,
so I appreciate that for sure.
I appreciate that. We pay it forward, folks. That's what we do. So look, here in Ashburn, we've got a lot more stuff coming up this week. Tomorrow we'll be back out here. They've moved the practices up, so it's a lot earlier because of the heat. And Candi and me can attest, it's hot out here, folks. It's a swelter, a cooker out here. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have more from here at Commanders Park, Washington Commanders Training Camp. I'm Lake Lewis with Candi Waller.